The American League West race is certainly shaping out to be a race that nobody saw coming, at least myself did not see coming. We all knew the Astros are defending World Series champions, have not been dethroned in quite a while. And so we thought, going into the season, maybe the Mariners can challenge them. We thought the Rangers still might be a year away, but maybe they can be for the wild card spot. Wow, it's certainly shaping up to be quite the race out in the AL West that really nobody's talking about. If this was the AL East, everybody would be absolutely talking about this, but since it's the AL West, it doesn't get talked about nearly as much. We're going to take a look at all three teams, where they are, where they have been, and kind of give my little take here on who I think will end up winning division. So let's start off with the first place Seattle Mariners. So the Seattle Mariners have really kind of came out of nowhere. In my season predictions, the Mariners coming off of a playoff appearance last year, hurrah for them, like a really good playoff appearance for them. They finally got in after just missing in 2021. Early on this season, through the All-Star break, this team was just kind of middling around. Like they were not really being a serious ball club about winning. Those ways in 2022 did not carry into 2021, and a big reason for that really was Julio Rodriguez. Julio Rodriguez did not have the first half that he would have wanted. He'll tell you that firsthand himself. Like Julio Rodriguez did not have the greatest first half. And by design, he's had a great second half, and the Mariners are having a great second half. Like since the All-Star break, this is one of the best teams in baseball, definitely in the American League. And they are now in first place. I made a video about the sellers and who should sell, and that's what the Mariners should sell, and they kind of sort of did. But by doing that, they kind of got some dead weight off their team. It helped them. They got some pieces back, like Josh Rojas playing good for the Mariners. They let other guys kind of fill in those roles, and the Mariners have been playing well. They're 9-1 of the last 10. They're in first place, like I mentioned, at 75 and 56, one game ahead of both Houston and Texas, respectively. This is going to be a really good race, and there's some interesting little tidbits here with the Mariners and the whole AL West. The Mariners close out their season with 3 at Texas, 3 versus Houston, and 3 versus Texas. The last 10 games of the season are against the Astros and the Rangers, including 7 versus the Rangers. That is ridiculous. That's ridiculous. Mariners are going to be in it till the end. They really are. Be quite the battle. The American League West all the way until the end. And I should just note, Julio Rodriguez currently has a 13-game hitting streak. So Julio getting himself into the MVP conversation. Going along to the second ball club here. Tied for second place, the Rangers 74 and 57. This team was really good. This team started off really good. Like a really good first half. The thing with the Rangers all year long has been injuries. They're 2-8 in their last 10. That's kind of testing their depth here, right? We're in the dog days of August. Their depth has been tested. Team morale has been tested with all these injuries kind of catching up to them. And I think that's kind of the biggest issue right now with Texas Rangers. Like their injuries have kind of piled up here, and it's taken a massive hit. So they need you guys to get healthy. I've talked about it plenty before with the Rangers. When I do talk about them, they need to get healthy, and they still need to get healthy. In fact, they had the most blown saves also in Major League Baseball. That's not good. They have more blown saves than saves. That is not good. The Rangers are winning games by a lot of runs. They're not winning a lot of close games. So the Rangers need to solve that back end of the bullpen problem. And again, they just need to get healthy. They do that, I think they will finish fine. They should make the playoffs and end their long playoff drought. 7 of their last 10 games are against the Seattle Mariners. So those two teams are certainly going to be jockeying for a position, I would be led to believe. Last but not least, certainly to not be forgotten, the Houston Astros 75 and 58. Again, the reigning defending champions. Houston, this has kind of been the norm for them. Like they're just kind of pacing themselves. Like I really believe Houston is kind of pacing themselves for October. Like this team is built for October. My question was, even to begin the season was, can they get to October and not be exhausted, kind of run out of fumes, right? Can they get to October and go to the World Series yet again and win another championship? Back-to-back champions has not been done since the Yankees in the early 2000s, late 90s. So the Astros trying to make some history here, trying to earn history. They're tied with Texas for second in the American League West. They are 5-5 in the last 10. So the Mariners 9-1 in the last 10, if I didn't mention. Texas 2-8 in the last 10. Houston 5-5. So like I said, just kind of pacing themselves, right? Got teams kind of going all sorts of directions here. The Altuve today hit for the cycle. I think it was the first Astro hit for the cycle since back in 2014 or 2013. So it's been 10 years since the Astros hit for the cycle, and Altuve yet again the MVP for the Astros. We kind of forget that Altuve missed the first 2 months of the season of a broken hand, right, or broken wrist back in the WBC. So got Altuve back kind of in the middle of the season there, and like I said, they've just been pacing themselves. I think the Houston Astros are set up pretty well to win the division and go into October. So who wins the division, who finishes second, who finishes third. Spoiler alert, I think all of these 3 teams will make the playoffs as of August 29th, 2023. I really do think all these teams will make the playoffs. The only team that can challenge either of these teams is the Toronto Blue Jays, who sit 2.5 games out of the final wildcard spot. So everybody else is 5 games back in the American League wildcard race. They've gotten away from a lot of these teams. There's still a month of baseball left. Anything can happen, but really the Blue Jays seem to be the only challenger. With that being said, I think the Houston Astros will win the division. They're just too good. I just think they're too good. They've been there, done that, right? It's kind of a been there, done that kind of thing with Houston. I think they do win the division. They're pacing themselves. They will turn it on when they need to and win those big games, as they have shown plenty of times before. So I think the Houston Astros win the AL West and get that bye seed, right? Second place in the American League West, I'm going to say the Texas Rangers. You know, call me a Mariners hater, go ahead, but I think the Rangers do get the second place finish and the second wildcard spot in the American League. They're really going through it, right? They're going through some tough times here, but that makes them stronger. What doesn't kill you makes you stronger. I think the Rangers will come out. You know, they will not win the division, even though they've led the division for a lot of the season. I'm sorry to break it to Ranger fans, they will not win the division, but I think they get the second wildcard spot and finish second place in the American League West. And in third place, currently first place, the Seattle Mariners. Mariners will still make the playoffs. You know, hold your horses. They will still make the playoffs. Back-to-back years in the playoffs. That's all you can ask for. They're not going to fall off by, you know, crazy amount, but so there's going to be a little bit of regression there, right? 9-1, you can't keep that up forever. So I think the Mariners will end up in third place, but they will hang on to the final wildcard spot, holding off the Toronto Blue Jays. So yeah, guys, let me know your thoughts down below in the comment section. Who wins the Wild West in the American League? Let me know your thoughts. I appreciate y'all for tuning in. I'll talk to you guys again next time. Later.